Yo, haha, yeah, it's your boy, B3. Sorry, back with another kickin', whoa! Graphic novel review. I'm trying to make it fun, but I'm actually a boring piece of shit who's not funny, and I just drank this water. But yeah, so we got another installation from the Batman The Dark Knight run of the New 52, Volume 3, Mad. Yeah, once again, for Batman The Dark Knight. This is an underrated run. It really is an underrated run. Volume 1 was quite good. Volume 2 was amazing. And Volume 3 is kind of giving the same vibe the last volume did, but instead of Scarecrow, it's the Mad Hatter, but it's not quite as good as the Scarecrow story was. I'm going to read you the back of the book and then the inside cover. So here's the back. Next up, Wonderland! Everything hangs in the balance in the Dark Knight's life as Bruce Wayne grapples with revealing Batman to the woman of his dreams. But just as he's ready to give her his all, the Mad Hatter joins the ranks of one of the greatest threats of Gotham has ever known. I read that wrong, but you get the point. By poisoning and kidnapping its citizens, he terrorizes Gotham in an attempt to rebuild his lost hope into a Wonderland. Can the Caped Crusader save the city and his new love before the Hatter shatters their world forever? That's actually a little foreshadowing, because spoiler alert for this whole video, but spoiler alert. Shatters their world forever. He fucking drops that bitch onto the bat signal and it shatters and she dies. I haven't read the back of the book before, like at all, so I did not know that that was there. It's a little joke. Acclaimed writer Greg Hurwitz teams up with superstar artist Ethan Van Sciver, big fan of Sciver by the way, and breakout talent Simon Krudonsky, I believe that's how that name is pronounced, for Batman The Dark Knight Mad, collects issues 16 through 21, and Batman The Dark Knight Annual #1. I quite enjoyed the annual also, it was pretty fun. But, yeah, so a lot happens in this book, but we're going to read you the inside cover so you can get an even better view of what this is up. Gotham City goes through the looking glass. There is light in the Dark Knight's life at last. Bruce Wayne has met a woman who is every bit his match as an intellectual equal, and a survivor who has overcome unspeakable trauma to reach the top of her field. He's ready to share everything with her, even the secrets behind the Batman. But elsewhere in Gotham City lurks another masked man who suffered as a child. Yet unlike Batman, this twisted figure wants to make the world pay for what he went through. Through a combination of high technology and mind-warping hallucinogens, he's kidnapping the citizens of Gotham in a sadistic attempt to recreate the Wonderland he lost long ago. He is the Mad Hatter, and he's about to draw the Dark Knight down a rabbit hole of terror! But yeah, I mean, this is a good book. I mean, it's not the best book, but it's not bad either. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal comic quality, which is not bad. Once again, that's fine. So, people are just disappearing all over the place, right? They're disappearing all over the place. Turns out the Mad Hatter is using all these corporations and stuff to sell hats and move money around, and he's kidnapping all these people, but no one seems to know why. And it turns out he's trying to, as it said, recreate a Wonderland. He had this perfect day once. That was like a date with a blonde chick named Alice, of course, and it was his perfect day. They went to this, like, amusement park that was Alice in Wonderland themed, and they had the perfect day, and she loved it and he loved it, and it was great. And that was what happened to him as a kid. And then, like, all the other kids were growing up and he wasn't growing, because, you know, the Mad Hatter's a little person. At least I've heard him call himself a little person, because someone called him a dwarf in a Detective Comics book I had that we've already reviewed, and he said he prefers a little person. So I guess he is a little person. Even though he seems bigger than that to me. I don't know. But apparently he had a testosterone deficiency, and there were pills he could take to boost his testosterone, but one of the side effects was becoming a psychopath. And then losing a grip on reality, hair loss, all these crazy fucking side effects. But he took him anyways because, you know, the stress of being a teenager and wanting to fit in like everybody else, and he wanted to go out with this Alice chick. But it didn't work out, so he's like recruiting these people to play parts in recreating that day, and he has all these different teas that give him different strength and stamina and make him hallucinate, so he's going extra crazy than normal. He's killing all these people in crazy ways. And then he goes to find Alice once he's all set and ready. And Alice has become like a white trash mom. And he kills her to release her from the misery so he can remember her as she once was. And then he sees Bruce Wayne's girlfriend, right? After all this junk, she sees Bruce Wayne's girlfriend, and he's like, she's perfect. She'll be a great Alice. We'll dye her hair, let it grow out. She'll be a great Alice. And then she's like, not cooperating, and he's like, I thought you were going to be a good Alice, but not. So he tortures her to try to get her to tell him who Batman is, because they use a hidden camera to see Batman drop her off from his Batplane, because Bruce Wayne did reveal his secret identity to her by the end. Mad Hatter tortures her, and he throws her into the bat signal, just drops her off a roof into the bat signal, and she dies. So Bruce Wayne loses this woman that not only did he reveal his secret identity to, but he was actually contemplating giving up Batman so they could be happy. He was contemplating giving up Batman so they could be happy. And one thing I want to point out real quick while I'm on this page, look how Batman's cape is drawn. I know you guys probably can't see it, but you see these little hooks right here? The cape is drawn almost like two individual bat wings. There's one panel where he's going through a window, and it looks like Man-Bat's going through the window almost. So they drew his cape in a very unique way, to kind of deviate just a little bit from the New 52 style and kind of make it their own, and I really appreciate that. Good job. Good job, guys. But Batman's like taking this one real personal and everything, and then Mad Hatter makes like a couple hundred citizens of Gotham come to him, and he's like, oh, they're not working out, so he slaughters like 200 people and just dumps them in the sewers. It's insane. Mad Hatter commits mass murder, like mass murder in this book. It's really crazy. I mean, it's not a bad book. Most of the stuff I told you is most of it, you know, it's more about Mad Hatter than it is Batman. About Mad Hatter's past. As the last one, I like the Scarecrow past book they did before more in Volume 2 because it paralleled him with Batman, and it didn't really parallel with Batman as much in this one, not as well. Because Batman's all about that one bad day, and Tech's kind of about that one good day, even though the rest of his life was pretty shitty. But he had like really loving parents and stuff. He had really good parents, and it was saddening to see Bruce Wayne's girlfriend die. Of course I knew she would. I mean, at the time of recording this, he's marrying Catwoman. So, but then there's the annual, which is a good story. Apparently a note gets sent to the Mad Hatter telling him to come meet Penguin. And Penguin gets a note saying to come meet the Mad Hatter, and the Scarecrow gets a note saying to come meet the Mad Hatter and the Penguin. So they all meet up, and they're like, whose fucking joke is this? And it turns out the Batman had them all meet up, and then he set, like, little pranks around Oswald Cobblepot's childhood home where they met. His abandoned childhood home. And it's really cool, because you're wondering, like, what's up? Who brought him there? Is it really the Batman? That doesn't make sense. But it turns out Batman sent them all those notes, because they were the three free super criminals in Gotham. And he sent them all there, and the Scarecrow accidentally gassed them all when he was trying to get away from stuff, so they all were like fear hallucinating on his super gas he created in the last volume. And they were all freaking out, and then went their separate ways at the end. They were like, oh geez, well, let's all agree never to speak of this night again. And it turns out Batman did it just to have a fucking night off, just to get him off the playing field for a little while so he could sleep in. That's pretty fun. So yeah, Batman the Dark Knight, Volume 3, Mad. Not a bad book. I mean, if you're going to read the other volumes, pick it up. If you're looking for just select volumes and you're not going to read the whole run, I would say go for Volume 2. I haven't read Volume 4 yet, but go for Volume 2 if you just want to read one book out of these. Volume 4 is actually the one I wanted to read the most because it's Clayface and a Man-Bat. It's a monster book, so I really wanted to read it. It'll probably be next. I've been going through Batman like crazy, if you haven't noticed. Been doing a shit ton of Detective Comics and The Dark Knight and All-Star. A lot of stuff to get through. But, I mean, it's not a bad book. If you're a big Batman fan, check it out. I mean, it's Batman. There are bad Batman stories out there. I know. I've read them, but this isn't a bad one. This is a pretty standard story, I think. Pretty standard quality. Nothing really special about it. Nothing that really holds it back either, though. It's just kind of there. I paid like $9 for this, actually, instead of the $24.99 it goes for. So, it's pretty good. So, Greg Hurwitz, you're doing a good job on this book. Well, I'm not anymore. The book's canceled. But you were doing a good job on this book. Ethan Van Sciver, nice. Simon Kuronsky, very good. You guys did a great job on this run in general. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check it out the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. Next time, we'll probably be doing the next volume of this, which will be the last volume also, I believe. There's only 4 volumes. I'm pretty positive. So that's it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all later.